Questions for Toby and Henry? Did that feel like an NBA game?
No.
With the back and forth nature of it?
Yeah, it was a high-scoring game, but it did not. It felt like a college basketball game. It just they made a lot of shots. We made a lot of shots.
With ASU's lack of size inside with Quentin's out, how much were you guys able to focus on being able to get the ball in there?
We were just focused, in transition, getting the duck-ins, the point to post. JB, at the end did a great job of sort of finding me and Henry in the post for easy, dump down catches and finishes. So I thought we did a good job of taking advantage of that.
Henry, you finished with a career-high 22 points tonight. Just talk about what was working for you offensively.
My teammates were finding me on easy shots. They were finding me down low. I got a couple offensive rebounds that helped me get easy buckets, so that's about it.
What do you think were the biggest issues defensively?
I thought effort was good. Just a few, communication things, especially on the ball screen. Know when to overswitch, know when the big is going to stay, when the guard is going to rotate over, things like that. And then also, when we trap the ball screen, making sure that our full rotations are covered, and we communicate on that too. So just a few schematic and logistical things, I would say. But I thought our effort was definitely there.
Did it feel similar emotionally than the game at Tempe, or maybe even different with being senior night as well? Or how wasn't the kind of feeling out there for you guys?
I think emotions are always high. On senior night, last home game for a lot of guys. But with that being said, it's just about understanding the situation and taking advantage of it, and not letting us play too emotional, but still with emotion at the same time. And I thought we did a good job of that. They were hitting a lot of tough shots. I'm sure their 3-point percentage was pretty solid as well. But we stayed with it throughout the whole game.
How were you guys trying to adjust after ASU started to come back in that short period?
I think they made a couple of shots and they just got downhill, so we kind of just needed to make adjustments as being on their body, being better with our communication, because we definitely messed a couple of things up. When we were in two coverage, we didn't have our alpha beta down low, so we kind of needed to improve with that.
What does it feel for both you guys, just because it was senior night, there's 6 guys on this team out there, Trey's getting the start over you, Henry, is that maybe less pressure for you guys, or how do you feel when, does it make a difference in a game like this? What's your approach?
We all appreciate the seniors. We've been together for so long. They're all really good guys. We're gonna hate to see them go next year, but I think it comes down. It's just still a normal college game. That's about it.
What have either of you guys heard about playing at Kansas?
Even from when I was in middle school, high school, I've heard it's one of the best sort of college basketball environments, and it's going to be exciting. But I think first and foremost, our goal is to win and take care of business. But I think it's definitely going to be a fun experience and environment for sure.
Did the experience of just playing at Iowa State this past weekend, can that help you in this next game in terms of the hostile atmosphere?
For sure. I think we've played in a bunch of hostile environments this whole season, even beginning with Wisconsin, towards the beginning of the year, and then throughout. But yeah, I think we have enough experience, and that's sort of built us up for this moment, and then also going into March as well, because the fact of the matter is we're not going to have a home game for the rest of the season, so we have to be able to play well away from home. So.
After the game, Tommy said that the seniors refused or didn't want to start because of the overall team goals. Is that kind of where this team is at right now? They're kind of focusing on the bigger picture than maybe smaller victories?
Yeah, those guys are the most selfless guys I know. I'm sure a bunch of guys would have wanted to have that moment, but they're so selfless and for the team. They knew kind of the point in the season we're at, and what our goals are. And the main goal was just to take care of business. Leave here with a win.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
Sorry, guys. I told them we're gonna make you guys wait till at least midnight. Good job. Happy Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday right now? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah, let's get this done. Here we go. Get you guys home.
Did the pace of this game feel like a normal college game, or did it feel like kind of an NBA game because the defense
I mean,
wasn't?
I've never coached an NBA game, so you're asking me to right away to live in hypotheticals. I don't know. I think it was just the lack of turnovers. You know, I would be interested to see what the possessions ended up at, but like neither team turned the ball over, and both shot the ball pretty well, and shot a lot of free throws, and yeah, that makes for a high-scoring game.
But the defensive performance, what were your thoughts on it for you guys?
Well, obviously we don't want to give up 100 points, and it's got to be better. But you know, we had this game, the same game, against them 2 years ago here, where they hit a bunch of what I would consider like tougher shots, but you know, they've always been capable of making tougher shots and shots off the dribble and some tough threes, and you know, they kind of have a knack for, you know, pulling a few of those out of the hat a couple times a year. And you know, they did it at Texas Tech, they did it here, you know, this year. But we had that game against them 2 years ago, and you know, and our guys, I don't know if we panicked or whatever happened, but they kept it close, and gave themselves a chance to win at the end, and they threw in that 60-footer. So I was feeling that, but I was hoping our team, I just kept telling them, hey, there's lots of ways to win a game. You can, you know, you can win a game, you know, with a huge run in the first half sometimes. You can win a game, you know, obviously you want to win them at the end, but you can also win them with 16-12, 8 minutes to go. So we just needed to keep finding that opportunity. When was going to be our moment? We were going to make the push to win the game. And finally, about, you know, 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game, we made that push. So, you know, I'm proud of our guys for hanging with it and not letting it come down to the last possession.
Career high 22 points for Henry tonight. Just what do you think about his continued growth?
I mean, Henry played well. He played really well, and you know, he actually threw in a big time right hand jump hook at a crunch time, which to me was the most impressive basket of the day. He made a big three in the corner that kind of went in, out, in, which was huge. And then I thought we had control of the game, and he shot another one. And I told him that you better make that one. I mean, that time we're probably thinking about running a little bit of clock and things like that. So. But yeah, Henry's continued to play well, and you know, I'm proud of his progress.
On top of Henry, you obviously had KJ and Caleb, who were also scoring 20-plus points. How does that change the momentum of the game when you have not one, not two, but three guys just performing?
Well, I mean, you know, in college you're not scoring 100 points often, especially in a Big 12 game, and it's great. You know, KJ, you know, was I thought he played really well. He was aggressive. You know, he knows how teams are kind of guarding him now. And he's picking and choosing his spots pretty well. And I thought he put himself in a lot of good positions to help us out and make plays, and took care of the ball. So, you know, really proud of his effort. And I thought Caleb did a good job early, kind of getting going and making sure, you know, that we were, you know, in the lead or in the game, you know, which is important in the first half. So just overall, you know, I'm proud of the way we played offensively. Obviously, we want to play better defensively, and you know, starting tomorrow, you know, as a staff, we'll kind of unemotionally figure out what we got to do to be a little bit better defensively.
He said that he thought the effort was good on defense, but that the communication was lacking at times, especially in screen situations. What did you think of?
I mean, yeah, I mean, Tobe's on the floor, so I'm gonna trust he's right, but we'll go back and watch it. You know, I mean. Obviously, it's you know, 3 out of 4 games where teams have played pretty well offensively against us. So we got to figure out, you know, is there a code that's been cracked? Is it, you know, is it a little bit the code being cracked and a little bit of bad luck? You know, sometimes they just make the shot, right? So we got to dig a little deeper and look into it.
Sorry, Chris. A lot of fouls. You guys had just one technical. I think Jaden's. How did you feel like the emotion compared to the last game in ASU?
I mean, my emotion was the same. I mean, I haven't sweated since the start of the game or the end. I mean, I'm good.
But I mean, you were real concerned after ASU. The guys were maybe over emotional things.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to our guys about, you know, being classy and understanding that, you know, it's not about showing someone up or, you know, anything like that. So, you know, I just know Jaden like, listen, Jaden is such a classy, quiet guy. If he's complaining to an official, like in a way that the official feels like he should tee him up, my assumption is he probably got fouled. Now, I have not seen the play. So that's just me knowing JB the way I know him. So, but hey, it happens, emotional game. And listen, this time of year, I know this. The refs do a great job, overall. The coaches do a great job. The players do a great job. Everyone's a little bit tired and probably tired of each other. So we all kind of just need to take a step back. And you know what would be awesome? If we all had a weekend off and maybe a happy hour to kind of like be normal people again, and then let's start the push for the postseason. But, you're at that point of the year where, hey, we've been on the officials hard, and, they're on us hard, and the players are out there playing hard, so it's a lot. And, so I had nothing but respect for the officials.
Tommy, knowing that you can't have the happy hour or whatever because you have a big game Saturday and then you turn around with Big 12, how do you kind of recalibrate?
Well, we're going to take tomorrow off, get our legs under us, and then, we'll game plan for Kansas. It's not complicated. I'm happy. We secured a top 4 spot, which basically, allows us that double bye where we don't have to play till Thursday. I think that's something that should be commended, especially the way our season started. No, I'm not disowning, my responsibility for how the season started, but like sometimes it starts that way. And our guys dug deep and fought their way back. So, to have a double bye in the Big 12 and be one of the top 4 teams, it's pretty impressive. And I'm proud of our guys for that.
What was it like to participate in the senior night with your son?
Wow. Can I say business as usual? Like, Liam's a great kid, and obviously we have a great relationship, but, we approached this year like, we never thought it would happen because we never wanted it to happen. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but Liam's very independent. He was on his own journey. He doesn't need his dad. Things happen in his life. Obviously, you see me holding Luca, which is awesome. It's like literally been the best thing that's happened to our family, even better than coming to Arizona, which, is probably a close second. So, so we just having him around every day, because I know this, like, my parents, recently bought a house down here, so they're here more. My wife's family bought a house down here, they're here more, and we're Tucsonans. And, you never know if your family's going to be around every day. And I'm sure all you guys have experienced that. When I was 18, I have awesome parents, and, blue collar as can be, and work their asses off. And, I just remember when I went to college, I drove myself to college. And they basically told me, coming back home is not an option. And not that it was a great home, but you're on your own journey. And so, when Liam left home, Chanel and I don't know if we're ever going to be in his day-to-day life ever again. And so to have him here has been really cool. But down in Arizona, with the basketball program, it's literally business as usual. And, there's nothing extra, nothing this, nothing that. But it's nice that he comes up for dinner a few nights a week, and, and we get to hang out with him and Hallie, his fiance, and our daughters, and Luca. So, that's been really special.
Did you really think about starting any of the walk-ons, or you had said out there they said?
Well, hey, here's the deal. I obviously thought about it like, oh, no, I got to figure this out. And you know what those dudes said? No. Those dudes told me, you ain't doing that to us, coach. This is about our team and our program. You're not putting us in that position, because the most important thing is we win that game. And Grant said, I started last year. I'm never starting again. Big Will said, Coach, if you start me, I'll be pissed. Champ was fine either way. And Liam said, hell no. So it wasn't a hard decision. And when you have kids like that in your program, it says something. So, because not one of those guys is about themselves.
Jaden had a dunk tonight, which is kind of rare for him. He usually plays more below the rim. How would you describe his playing style?
He's had a few dunks this year, hasn't he? Three. Who's counting? You? Okay. JB's been great. He's become a consummate point guard. And the cool thing about him is he's really settled in. He's great in high-level games. He's very trustworthy. And the cool thing about him is there's still room to grow. I know this, because I'm with him every day. So, I love Jaden. I mean, you talk about no drama, no issues, no nothing. That's that kid, and that's valuable. And so I appreciate him being one of the leaders of our team.
He played 30 minutes tonight. Is it something you're looking at to kind of keep a closer eye on his minutes, or is that something?
I mean, he got 2 fouls early. He got 2 fouls, so trying to figure that out. And if one of your better players has 2 fouls, and you're kind of managing a lead, the longer gap you can give him, to that next run where he potentially could pick up his third is important. So that's all that was.
Your most efficient players by far tonight seem to be guys that weren't seniors. Is there anything to that? Just less pressure on them? Or
No,
or is it just the way
no. You're overanalyzing, Bruce. Nothing.
You look at down the line, JB, Henry, Kareem.
We got a lot of good players. And they played well offensively today. And so, I'm proud of that effort because you know what? When you give up 100 points at home, you better score more than 100. And we did. And against BYU, we gave up, 94 at home? Was that right? Or 95? Huh? 96. And we scored 95. Yeah, well, if you give up 95, you better not give up more than 94. And it's not more complicated than that.
Do you believe in kind of a regular season fatigue in the sense where maybe some of these guys are just ready to start the tournaments?
I mean, possibly. As a coach, you're always trying to guard against that and keep them fresh. And, I mean, I don't know if, we have the luxury of letting our guard down, because the way the season started, we knew we were fighting. But obviously we got off to a good start in the Big 12 and hit a little bit of a rougher patch recently. I don't know if that's fatigue or scheduling or, whatever. But I think our guys are in a good place physically and a good place mentally, and let's see if we can make that next push.
Does it help in that sense that you play Kansas on Saturday to keep the...
I mean, I hope so. I mean, listen, I'm excited to play there. It's one of the few that I haven't played at. So, but I also know that they're excited to have Arizona there. So it's senior night, and it's going to be in Lawrence, and I think it'll be a special night for all parties involved.
You describe, last question, your relationship with Caleb after the game is special. Just your thoughts, reflection, now that he's played his final game at McKale, what he means to the program.
I mean, he means a lot. You're talking about a guy that I just don't know how many people this is my 26th year at this level of, Division I basketball, have gone through what he's went through. And, he's literally going to be a household name 20 years down the road here, but just also in college basketball. How he's handled himself, through all the ups and downs has been really impressive. I don't know if any one of us in this room, would have handled it with as much class as he has. So I respect that, and I'm thankful to be a small part of it. And I mean, we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him. But Caleb Love in Arizona, it's always gonna be 2 words that are said together, and I think that's really cool. Thanks, guys. Get home safe.